Hey there, so you want to go to Japan? Everyone talks about Tokyo and the Shibuya crossing and all the neon, which is fun, but in this video we are going to slow down a bit and talk about Buddhist temples. And I am not doing this alone. Someone decided to show up. Hello, who is this?
Hi, it is me, Nana. I am a deer from Nara, and I am here to help you talk about temples.
Yes, this is Nana, the very opinionated deer from Nara. She is here to keep me honest and to make temple talk a little less confusing.
I will complain if you say something weird. That is my role.
The challenge for this video is simple. By the end, you should be able to look at most big Buddhist temples in Japan and put them into one of three basic types, instead of thinking they are all the same. One quick filter before we start. In Japan, you will see both Shinto shrines and Buddhist temples. This video is about Buddhist temples, which is what most of my clips are. Shinto shrines are the ones with the simple gate that looks like two posts with a bar on top. That gate is called a torii. Shrines are about local gods and nature. Buddhist temples have Buddha statues, incense, big wooden halls, and sometimes tall towers with several roofs that we call pagodas. So whenever you see a big hall with a Buddha or a pagoda, your brain can go, okay, Buddhist temple, this video applies. To keep this simple, we are going to sort Buddhist temples into three big boxes. Box 1, Giant Power Temples. Box 2, Paradise and Pond Temples. Box 3, Zen Monasteries. You do not need dates, you just need the basic vibe and a few names. Box 1 is what I call Giant Power Temples. These are some of the earliest Buddhist temples in Japan that were supported by the court. They are big, formal, and not shy about it. A perfect example of this is Horyuji. At Horyuji, you have a main hall and a pagoda standing side by side in the same courtyard, with long covered corridors around them. The roofs are heavy, the pillars are thick, and the layout feels very planned.
If you are seeing the Horyuji clip right now, notice how it feels almost like a fortified complex for a Buddha. It has that strong, early temple energy.
So when you are at a temple that looks like Horyuji, with a main hall, a pagoda, and a formal courtyard, you are probably looking at something in this first box of giant power temples. Box 2 is what I call paradise and pond temples. Later on, Pure Land Buddhism becomes popular. The idea is that if you have faith in a Buddha named Amida, you can be reborn in his Pure Land, which is imagined as a peaceful, beautiful paradise. Japanese builders hear that and say, all right, let us build a space that feels like that Pure Land. The classic example here is Byodoin in Uji. At Byodoin, the main hall sits right in front of a pond. The building reflects in the water, and the garden and water together create this very balanced, calm scene. It feels like a painting that you are standing inside.
If you are watching the Byodoin clip, look at how the hall sits on the edge of the pond and how the reflection doubles it. That is peak paradise and pond mood.
So when you go to a Buddhist temple and the whole setup is hall, pond, and a carefully arranged garden that feels like a little heaven on earth, you can put that into box 2, paradise and pond temples, with Byodoin as your mental reference. Box 3 is Zen monasteries, which is probably what most people picture when they think of Kyoto temples. Zen is a form of Buddhism that focuses a lot on meditation and daily discipline. Because of that, Zen temples are not just show spaces, they are places where monks actually live and train. A really good example here is Daitokuji in Kyoto. Daitokuji is not just one building, it is a whole complex with a main axis and many sub-temples and gardens attached to it. When you walk through Daitokuji, it feels like a small city of temples.
If you are seeing the Daitokuji clips, notice how you move from gate to path to hall, and then suddenly you turn and you are in a quiet garden with raked gravel or moss. That is very zen.
Those garden clips you see with rock gardens, raked patterns, or little moss gardens framed by sliding doors fit here too. They belong to Zen spaces like the sub-temples inside Daitokuji. So for box 3, the feeling is less about one giant building and more about a calm campus. You have a main gate, some important halls, living quarters, and then a lot of side paths and small gardens where silence is kind of the main thing.
And if a place feels like you could get lost going from one small garden to another, that is usually a Zen monastery, not a single stand-alone temple.
So How do you use all this when you are looking at your own videos or visiting in person? First, make sure you are looking at a Buddhist temple and not a shrine. Buddha statues and big wooden halls mean yes, shrine gates and clapping mean different video. Then, ask yourself which of these three it feels closest to. If it looks like Horyuji with a main hall and a pagoda facing a formal courtyard, that is box 1, giant power temple. If it looks like Byodoin with a hall sitting in front of a pond and the whole thing reflecting in the water like a postcard, that is box 2, paradise and pond temple. If it feels more like Daitokuji with a main path, a series of halls, and then lots of side rooms and gardens where the space gets quiet and minimal, that is box 3, Zen monastery.
You do not have to get it perfect. The point is that instead of saying just another temple, you start to notice what kind of temple it is.
So yes, go to Tokyo, enjoy the chaos, get your Shibuya crossing clip, but when you are in Nara, Kyoto, or Uji, and you are standing in front of a Buddhist temple, try to see if it is more like Horyuji, Byodoin, or Daitokuji. If you can match the vibe, you are already seeing more than most tourists. That is it for this short tour of Buddhist temples. Thanks for watching Art Revel, and thank you, Nana, for helping out. Thank you. Please be nice to temples and to deer. See you at the next one.